Hello crafting friends, welcome to my vlog. My name's Barbara Radzevicius and my channel is Bondi Fibre Crafting. I love all things fibre, knitting and quilting, and today I thought we'd have a look at some cat quilts. Well, I've made two. I have made a lot of cat quilts, but they have been gifted. My son has had two and he really likes them, but they are so beautiful and they're scrap cat quilts. I really love them. The pattern is, no, I shouldn't go into that yet, should I? This book is still available on Amazon. I've seen it recently. You can buy it in the hardcover or softcover, but it is a fabulous book if you love cats. So this isn't the cat block on the cover, it's a couple of pages in, but it is a perfect pattern, I've got to say. I just love it. So it's a rectangle with triangles, 2 triangles for the ears, and that's it. And it's perfect for scraps, and so I'll show you my scrap cats. Alley cats, block cats, solid coloured cats, and cat fabric cats. Oh, I just love them. Today I thought I'd talk about 2 of my cat quilts that I've kept for myself. I really love this block. It is not it's not a big block. It's about 5 by 3 inches altogether. And yeah, I love it because it's a scrap. You know, it's very adaptable. You can use all the same cat fabric, or you can use scraps, or you can just use a mixture. And I really like collecting cat fabrics, novelty prints. But this one, the first one we'll talk about, is solids. These are my solid cats. I really do love them. I've used a lot of Kona, and I think the main colour is Kona. I think it's off-white, or maybe it's a seeded off-white. Beautiful. I do like to use a plain or a neutral background, just showcases the cat fabric. So in this one, you can see I've used some hand dyes. So Judith hand dyed some fabric a fair while back, and she gifted me some of her hand dyes. I have made a Jacob's ladder out of her hand dyes, and I called it Weather, or Stormy Weather. And yeah, so the block is very adaptable. So you can have, I've had it so that it's facing one way, and then I've reversed the pattern. Janet's book is well worth a purchase, friends. I really recommend it. So you can see there's a big rectangle, 2 ears and a back. Doesn't take very much fabric at all. And I've hand quilted it in big stitch quilting. Really love the different colours in this one. So I collected a whole lot of solids for this one, and all I purchased was 20 centimetres of all the fabrics that I could find that were one colour, and so not very expensive at all, because 5 lots of 20 centimetres makes a metre. So I think I went very well. I also had some swap fabric for it, so it's rather wrinkly because I've had it folded in the quilt cupboard for a while, and it's time to air them. You can see my rather big selection. Well, it's not really big selection of different fabrics. I do love Kona solids. I think they're beautiful. So with this quilt, there is no, other than the colour theme, there is no sort of pattern to the colour settings. I've just put all my cats together, and it's a beautiful chowder of solid cats. This is a backing fabric that I've used, and we've seen this print as a binding in another quilt. And then this is the border fabric, really nice batik. Really love batiks too. And I have machine quilted the border down and used it as a wide binding and stitched it down. That is my solid cats. My second cat quilt, and as you can see, it's a big quilt, so for a queen size bed. It took me years to collect all these novelty prints for these cats, and some of them are what I would call fussy cutting, like the horse. Some beautiful fabrics from the US when I went there. That is even a tote bag from the museum here. Just love all the fabrics. And it's like looking through a reference calendar, isn't it? There's mice, musical mice. Australian fabrics. I really do like the clowns. That was a fabric that John got me in the US, in Tampa, I think, where there's a big circus. And some small prints, dancing frogs. Oh, I do love the lilies, shells, botanicals, more mice. This is a Millennium fabric that do you remember that in 2000? I had quite a bit of it. Well, I would say 1/2 meter, and I used every thread of it. This cat's doing amazing things. And I sometimes include the salvage in my quilt. That's 1999, so I probably made it about 2000, I'd say. And that's a fabric from when people were collecting in the US road trip fabrics. My friend in Tennessee sent me some beautiful fabrics in that line. A hospital gown from my friend who worked at a hospital in US. That's it. You got number plates that said really nifty things, and that one says quilts for sale. So I've been on a couple of trips to the US when I was younger, because my friend moved there to Florida, and we went to see her a few times. I think that's a glow in the dark. Oh, scraps are so fun, aren't they? I really love this one. I think it's beautiful colours in that. Just going to sit down. I love this batik. I had a skirt made out of it, and that was a little tiny bit of leftover. Two beautiful Australian prints. I do love browns, and I love muddy colours. You can see I love muddy colours. They're beautiful. I have a few repeats, but not many, so I think that one and that one goes together. Remember the children of the world? I love the American flags and the colours in the antique flags. They're just so subtle and beautiful. Are the flags of the world. That brown is a really old fabric that I had, I think from the 70s or 80s. But I really love it. So you can see I don't throw out many fabrics. I collect even little tiny scraps. You never know when they're going to come in handy. It's a lovely one with flowers and vines. More of that beautiful fabric. Here's another lovely one. And this is just the end coming to the bottom of the quilt. My friend in Canada sent me that beautiful print. Comics, really love the comic print. More of that fabric. And then some fun mice. The rodeo fabric. Colorado. I've got a nice friend in Colorado. No, not Colorado, the next one, Oregon. Kathy. Kathy also makes quilts. Yeah, that is my novelty print cat quilt. I'll show you the back. This is the backing for my cat quilt. Cats. Really love this print. I must have bought 3 meters, I think, and then I just pieced it because it wasn't big enough for a whole back. And for the border, which is also the binding on this quilt too, it's a really nice zebras, but I love the colors. And then I hand stitched it down. I hope you like looking at my cat quilt, and I thoroughly recommend the book to have a look at if you're interested in making cat quilts, especially scrappy quilts, but also they could be a themed fabric cat quilt. You know how, like pirates, John made a galleon recently? Well, this is my pirate quilt, just while I'm reminiscing. And it's a scrap quilt also, but I must have bought a meter, I would say, of the main fabric. I also made hexagons out of these, so they were fussy cut too. Not this block, but what I bought it for. And then some very small pieces. You can see how fun novelty print collecting is. I've got doubloons there. There's about 10 different prints, I would say. But this fabric is just spectacular, and I want to showcase it as a Jacob's Ladder quilt, machine pieced and hand quilted. It was a fast quilt to make. I kept it for myself because I love it. I've made fancy corners. So part of the fabric goes into the border, just on that one corner, apparently. Jacob's Ladder is a beautiful block too, especially for using up scraps. Look at this one. Oh. Navigation. Ships. Very funny pirates. I made a few quilts with this theme for my grandsons, I would say. Small quilts. Yeah, isn't it fun? And I've big stitch hand quilting the whole quilt. I really love the border, how I've quilted the border. I'll show you this one. Oh no, this is another This one reminds me of Johnny Depp. Looks just like him. You can see how I've quilted it in a contrasting colour just around the edge and cross-hatched the whole quilt. And for the binding, I used 2.5-inch strips of the Pirate fabric, and it has a batik backing. Really love this batik, and I used every scrap of it. So showcasing novelty prints. I love them. And as a quilter and a big stitch quilter, slow crafting quilter who likes to go fast sometimes, I've got to say, especially with the methods that I use, like strip piecing, makes it so much fun. And I love themes too, so I love collecting themes. Yeah, I love my pirates. I like this little quilt. I'll show you the back because I stenciled a print for the back. So I've got a stamp made up with my name on it from the printers, a rubber stamp, and I just print my name on the back, and these are just rubber stamps too. I think it really suits that type of label. You'd think I'd put the date, but no, it's the only thing that's missing. And this is permanently on there, so it's part of the quilt now. For the binding for this quilt, it's 2.5-inch strip, and I machine pieced it on, and I machine stitched it down, and I did that before I hand quilted, just so it'd all stay together for me. I love quilts. Here's a pirate ship. Lego. Perfect combination. Jacob's Ladder quilt. Hand quilted. Big stitch quilting. Pirate themed. I love collecting novelty prints. All things pirates and big stitch quilting. That's me signing off for this week, friends. Thank you so much for joining me for this short visit talking about cats. My cat, Kitty Levine, had a day of sleeping yesterday. She wasn't well, but she is one of the things that I really do love. I love my friend Kitty Levine, and so I like making cat quilts too. I am in a Facebook group called Quilting Cats. It is an amazing group. If you're interested, you're a quilter and you have a cat who loves quilting, your quilting projects, have a look at that group. It is a really nice group of friends. Yeah, so that's me signing off for this week. Please give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you soon. Bye, friends.